Aleix Espargo and Aprilia celebrate their first ever win in MotoGP.
Aprilia's 2022 has been the most successful season in their modern MotoGP history. But it may also be their most frustrating. Aprilia came into 2022 with an updated RSGP, more powerful, better handling and more agile. The Nuali factory found themselves with genuine belief of fighting for something great for the first time. They hit the ground running in Qatar with Aleix only narrowly missing out on a podium, but it was clear there was still a lot of work to do for Maverick as he came home 12th and some distance behind his teammate. If they hadn't proved it already, round 3 in Argentina showed the genuine progress Aprilia had made from 2021 to 2022. In what was a strange weekend due to freight issues, limited track time really showed the difference between those bikes that worked immediately and those that needed a little more time to adapt to conditions. Heading into Sunday for the first time in modern MotoGP history, and Aprilia was the clear favourite for victory ahead of the race. The third time was the charm for Aleix to burst through on Jorge Martin to pick up his first ever Grand Prix victory, and also Aprilia's first in the modern MotoGP era too. The scenes that followed were rightly emotional, and at least for a day they could say they were the fastest in the world. A brief blip in form came afterwards in Austin, and perhaps this was the first clue to Aprilia's season unravelling in the second half. But for now, the success and confidence kept building at Aprilia. Incredibly, Aleix went on to take 4 third places in a row at Portimao, Jerez, Le Mans and then Mugello. The bike was good, but Aleix was the one making it all work. He was incredibly impressive at that point of the year, and his brilliance carried on to his home GP in Catalonia too. Where only his own error of stopping 1 lap too early took away a dream home podium. While he missed out on a podium at Assen as well, he produced the ride of his career after early contact with Fabio Quartararo to charge back to 4th place. And who could forget that incredible last lap move on Brad Binder and Jack Miller. That Sunday in Assen was huge for Aprilia. At the previous race in Germany, Maverick had suddenly come alive and was having his best ride of the season before an unfortunate technical issue brought that to a halt. He followed it up with his first podium with Aprilia in Assen, and in Parc Fermé his face said it all. He went on to Silverstone and almost won the thing, but what changed? Maverick went from 1 top 7 in the first 8 races to back-to-back podiums. We think we can put it down to 3 things. One thing Maverick constantly commented on was that he was always searching to be more comfortable on the bike. There was a point this year where that seemed to stop. It was around Assen and we saw it in his ergonomic setup too. He had stopped changing it and finally settled on one he was happy with. The second was Aprilia's ground effect side fairings that they introduced at the Catalan test. Quite literally from the first lap, Maverick never removed it, and with the added confidence that it gave him, it seemed to help Maverick at the start of races. But the third, and possibly the most important, was Aprilia announcing over the Italian GP weekend that Maverick had been renewed for 2023 and 2024. Aprilia really put their belief in Maverick, and he seemed to reward them for it. As the good results of the end of the first half of the year bled into the second half for Maverick, he went on to pick up another podium in Misano, a place which he's always loved and suits his style. Fast sweeping corners is just something that has always clicked with Mav, but the same success wasn't coming the way of Aleix. As Maverick had that great weekend at Silverstone, Aleix's FP4 crash took away a potential race win, and arguably it was the start of his 2022 title challenge slowly fading away. After Silverstone, 2 sixth places in Austria and Misano were the best he could manage, and Austria in particular showed up the weakness that would see Aprilia's title challenge ultimately crumble in 2022. Both Aleix and Maverick really struggled to get their machines stopped in a straight line, and the problem really showed up again later in Thailand. As they tried to solve it, whatever they did didn't seem to work out and almost plunged Aprilia deeper into despair. Struggling with braking and traction out of the corner, Aleix's dream of a first MotoGP World title slowly faded as the flyaways rolled on, and the results he needed didn't arrive. It was a heartbreaking end to what was and is an incredible season from Aprilia. They proved they can contend with the best, but now they face the challenge of figuring out how to drag themselves out of the hole they're in. Luckily, help has arrived in the form of Miguel Oliveira and Raul Fernandez, as for the first time Aprilia will have 4 bikes on the grid in 2023. With double the data, they'll be able to find the direction they need to go in twice as fast, and Aleix and Maverick can right the wrongs of 2022 next season.
Hola, this is Aleix Espargaró, and if you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and wait for more. Bye!